All right, hello and welcome. Shalom, everyone. Tonight we are going to go over the healing herbs, the skull cap. This is a very good one, I believe. It's a very good one that can help many people. But just like everything else, you know, even religion itself, it can only help those who want to be helped, right? If you don't take it, it's not going to do a thing for you. But if you take it, it might help you out. Let's find out. This is what it looks like. That doesn't matter to a lot of people, but you probably need to know what you're looking at and know what you're getting. So, what is skullcap? The name skullcap refers to any plant in the Scaneria family, right? American and Chinese varieties are most common used as natural medicine. Again, a lot of these herbs are medicine. They was intended to be medicine, and they are medicine. A lot of people kind of scoff at them and say big deal because pharmacia and all this has the quick answer to it, but sometimes it's not always the best answer to it. Sometimes it causes liver and heart and all these other problems, and a lot of times it's not the cure. We're looking for a cure, not a push off till next year. So, with all that being said, the American skullcap is a herb native to North America. In bloom, the plant is covered in tiny tubular blue flowers, like we just seen, although the color can vary. The leaves of the American skullcap have been used in traditional herbal medicine as a sedative and to treat conditions like anxiety and convulsions. The plant was prized by Native Americans for its powerful medical properties. Again, some of this stuff is not just a toy, it's not just something you do. They are powerful. So if you just have a little toe ache, you might want to be careful. But if you have cancer, this might be an answer for you. That's right, that's what I said. Chinese skullcap is native to several Asian countries as well as Russia. The dried roots of this plant have been used for centuries as a traditional Chinese medicine known as Hongquin to treat diarrhea, insomnia, dysteria, high blood pressure, hemorrhaging, respiratory infections, and inflammation. It is used in herbal remedies, a popular formation used to treat conditions like fevers, gastro issues, and the liver diseases, right? Both the American and Chinese are available as supplements that can be purchased online or in your favorite and probably not your favorite health food stores unless you're into a lot of, you know, a lot of this stuff because a lot of these you can't find the truest form. You might be able to find a peel or something of it, but the truest form is usually the powder, and you need to find that truest form to get anything out of it. Otherwise, you're just getting rice and fillers. They're also known as an alternative medicine and have been studied for their potential health benefits. Again, these are not something that we're just coming up with, right? This is not something that, gee, we just found the new thing yesterday and what are we coming up with here? This is something that we are looking into for thousands of years. This is something that we have been knowing for a long, long time, right? The Chinese, the Native Americans, many people have known this. So, it's sold in capsules, powders, and liquid. Dried parts of the plant, such as its leaves, are likewise used to brew your tea. So you can put it in a pot. You're supposed to boil it for about 2 minutes, let it simmer, let it cool down, of course, and then drink it. The skullcap may provide several benefits, and this is what it's all about. This is for everybody out there from mood to, again, cancer and beyond, right? This is to let people know what can help them. The skullcap has been shown to boost your mood and reduce the symptoms of anxiety. And in today's world, who don't need that one, right? A study in 43 people found that those who received 1,050 megagrams American skullcap daily for 2 weeks reported significant enhancements in mood compared to a placebo group. So the people who got this actually did better than the people that didn't. It's thought that American skullcap positively impacts mood and reduces anxiety by stimulating the gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA, a neurotransmitter that helps calm your nerves. Notably, this plant was used in traditional medicine practices as a sedative and treatment for conditions like insomnia and anxiety, right? Insomnia, you can't sleep and you're sitting there thinking all night long. And then you fall asleep and then you get up, and then anxiety and all these things that are going on. In fact, many anti-anxiety medications work similarly by enhancing the GABA activity. It also has antibacterial and antiviral effects. Also known as barbat skullcap is another species of the medical properties. Studies indicate that it has a powerful antiviral and antibacterial effects. One test tube study sampled over 30 Chinese herbs and found that only S. barbata extract demonstrated 100% antibacterial activity against this bacteria, right? Furthermore, this extract showed better antibacterial effects than colistin, a common antibiotic. So some of these things that we're getting again are pretty powerful, right? The same study demonstrated that S. barbata was also effective in reducing XDRAB bacterial load in the lungs of mice compared to a control group. So if it's going to help mice, their theory is it helps us as well. What's more, Chinese skullcap is proportioned to have antibacterial effects and is a component of a herbal mixture called cannabicin, a popular natural remedy used to treat intestinal bacteria overgrowth. Now, if that wasn't enough, it contains anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer compounds. Yet we never hear of these things, right? Probably the first time you've ever heard of skullcap in your life. But you probably heard of many people who's had cancer. Isn't that a shame? Both American and Chinese skullcap contain an array of beneficial plant compounds, including antitoxins, which have anti-inflammatory effects and protect your cells from damage caused by molecules called free radicals. The problem is with many cancers is your body just can't get rid of the problem at a cellular level. When your body can't get rid of it, it backs up, and then it becomes a bad thing. And the more it backs up, the worse of a bad thing. Where this helps your body to get rid of these and detect these and get it out of your body. And the more you can do that, the better it is for you and your body. Oxidative stress, which results from an imbalance between free radicals and antitoxins, is linked to a number of chronic conditions such as certain cancers and even heart diseases. Notably, bacillin, a flavored antitoxin in both American and Chinese skullcap, has demonstrated a powerful anti-cancer effect and may help combat this stress. So again, this is not a throwing a dart at the dartboard. This has been used. Almost every one of these, obviously have had testing and used on people. The problem is what in most cases you have to find out what's wrong. If it's intestinal, if it's prostate, if it's lymphoma, if it's leukemia, you have to figure out what the cancer that is attacking your body is. Then usually if you can find out what that is, then you can find something to make your body help it or get rid of it or destroy it, right? That's the whole point of this, is to help from the common cold to the common cut to cancer and everything in between, to help people. And if you don't believe me, try it. The thing that we need to do, instead of just making videos and getting likes and getting this and getting that. We need to help people. If you know anybody who has any of these things, then please try it out. How do we know? Everybody says, well, there's no real clinical test. Well, do you want to be a test? Do you want to be a part of it? Do you want to help? And if you do, then please let us know. Right? We can't try anything out if we don't know it. How can you try it if you don't know it? So the whole point, again, is to let people know, and then they can try it. In test tube studies, this induced cell death in prostate and cervical cancer cells while significantly inhibiting the growth of ovarian and pancreatic cancer cells. Like I said before, if you know which cell that you're trying to target, you can usually find something to target it. The thing is trying to target it before it gets too big, too bad, and all this, and then get it under control. It is another American skullcap compound that exhibits potent anti-cancer potential in test tube studies. So again, what we have to have is people that want to try this, and people that want to use it, and people that are going to use it. We have person after person that say, that's great, but do they do anything about it? Do they come on board and say, hey, I want to try this out. I want to try this. I want to give this a go, right? Many times, especially in the early stages, is when you want to figure this out, right? Not when you're bedridden, but when you find out, hey, this is wrong, or I feel this is wrong, or this is what's going wrong. That's when you want to correct it, right? After you had the car crash and you're in the hospital, what good is it? You're in the hospital, you had the car crash. There's no bringing it back, right? But sometimes in these cases, we can find and identify and cure or help it. Additionally, some animal studies reveal that guanine, a flavonoid compound in the Chinese and American skullcap, is particularly effective in treating the inflammatory allergic conditions like the allergic rhinitis. It's worth noting that the Chinese and the skullcap contain anti-inflammatory compounds. Oh, it's worth noting. Sorry, can't read again. It's worth noting that the Chinese and American skullcap contain many other inflammatory compounds. In fact, over 50 flavonoids have been isolated from the Chinese species alone. It has been linked to several other benefits, including oral supplementation with American skullcap has been shown to have anti-convulsant effects in rodents. Again, insomnia. The compound found in both the American and the Chinese skullcap is used to treat insomnia in traditional medicine practices. However, some of the research is lacking. Neurodegenerative disease. Some test tube studies suggest American skullcap and the may have neuroprotective properties, potentially safeguarding against diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Your heart health. In the animal study, injections reduce damage associated with induced heart attack. Although these effects are promising, more research is needed to determine whether skullcap is an effective treatment for these conditions. And you always have to do what? Test your blood, your doctor. All these things are a good thing to go and get a wellness check and know what's going on, right? Then you know, because then you know what's going on with you. And if you know what's going on with you, the more you know, the more you can fix, the more you can help. So all we can do is what we can do. Chinese skullcap has also been associated with lung complications and other types, including the American variety. Now, with anything, you have side effects, and some things, are worse for others. Irregular heartbeat, tics, anxiety, drowsiness, and mental confusion in some people. It should be known that skullcap can interact with many common medications such as blood thinners, cholesterol-lowering medications, Crotochrome P450, and substance drugs and painkillers. So again, always know what you're getting into. Know what you're taking. Don't just throw something on top of a bunch of other pills that you're taking. You have to know exactly what you're taking, how much of this to take, and what you do. And with anything, if you take it, you start off slow and easy, right? You know, take a bucket or a shovel full, take a little spoonful, a little bit, put it in make some tea maybe, take some sips of it, and see how it reacts to your body. I know a lot of people that, you know, especially the more scared and whatever you are, the more diagnosis you got, you know, you just want to throw it in there, drink it down, and drink 3 cups a day. And if that works, then great. But if not, we have to be careful, right? You have to be very careful starting out. So our doses generally range from 1 to 2 grams per day, usually in divided doses. So again, that's a number. That's not 23. So 2 to 3 doses a day. But again, probably start out with 1 dose, see how your body does. If you're all right, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours later, try a little bit more, and then that probably is enough until you work yourself up to be able to take it 2 or 3 times a day. And again, depending on how sick and how everything else is going. And I always recommend to try to take this stuff during the day. I know it says insomnia, but take it during the day so you know what's going on, right? Because when you take it at night and you have a cramp or something else, then you might have a worse night than what you thought you was going to have. So, teas made of skullcap, sometimes blended with other herbs like lemon balm, are also available in health food stores and online. They may not have the same effects of the supplements because tea is typically less concentrated. So a lot of your tea bags and your things like that, again, it may be fillers and it may have this and it may have that in it. But if you get the purest form, then you put it in your own pan and make it yourself. I know it's a little bit harder, but if you do it that way, sometimes it works out better. Tinctures containing skullcap and other potential calming herbs such as valerian root are available as well. Dosage for tinctures depends on the concentration and ingredients. And they almost always come with instructions, right? So when you're getting the tinctures, again, make sure that you're getting the tincture that has what you want in it. And I would recommend, again, to get your tincture to have the most potent stuff you can get, really, especially if you are dealing with, like, say, cancer or some hard disease, right? You don't want to just have a little bit because you ain't even going to know if it works, right? It's like taking a half aspirin, and I don't know if that cured my headache or not. I don't know if that will help me or not. You're not going to know unless probably take 2. Some people even, I've heard, take 3, right? Then you know, hey, my headache away. Then this happened. So we have to use these wisely, and we have to use this just like everything we do. We have to come to this wisely. Now again, the tinctures usually come in the bottle. For people that don't know, you have your little tinctures like this, but you have to read because a lot of it's water. It says on it. Look at the back. Read the instructions. Read it online. Distilled water, soy, rice, whatever they put into it. Some's got alcohol, right? It might make you feel real good for a second, but it's alcohol. It's not really any lasting or effective thing for your body. And it can hurt your liver and your blood pressure. But this is what I recommend for most all of it is a powder, right? This, you can look at it, you can see what it is, you can see what you're getting, you can see the name of it, right? Skullcap. Now, the different companies have different ones. Some have a powder, and some have more of the gritty form of it, right? Sometimes the gritty form of it, you can see what you're getting. Like our picture earlier, and we've seen what it should look like. As opposed to some of the powders, is it dirt or not? Right? What are we getting? Sometimes you even want to get like a bark form of it. You know what I'm saying? Not a bark form, but a actual stem form of what you're getting, the plant itself, and you know what you're getting. And then you know what that will do for you, right? So, again, the best you can find, and how do you know that? Usually it's the more expensive. Not always. Don't go on eBay and find the most expensive bag, because it might be this that somebody bought that's selling. But check the ingredients. Make sure it's non-GMO, organic, certified. See, this is certified organic. It's got the date on it. Best by September 2025. You know kind of sort of what you're getting. And then if you try it and it's more potent than the other ones, you know, again, what you're getting. So it's all about what you get, really. It can be the best thing in the world, but if it's a box of dirt, it's a box of dirt, right? If it's just some tree bark off of a tree, it's still a pecan tree bark. So, we have to know what we're doing and what we're getting. So for anybody out there who needs any of this, who wants to know more about it, that's what this is all about. I was going to start a whole channel on it, but we're just going to keep it right here for now. Maybe one day if we get a lot of feedback or a lot of people healed or a lot of things happening, we might take it another step further. But for now, please take these things. Please look them up. And if they help you, then let us know. Right? There's a lot of people with a lot of problems, but sometimes we can help ourselves. Right? We can pray and pray and pray, but if you ate a bad meal, you got a bad meal. You might have to take some Pepto-Bismol, right? You might have to say, gee, I shouldn't have ate that. I probably shouldn't eat it again. So I hope this is edified. I hope it helps. I hope people get something out of this, right? Instead of just beating the drum and they hear it, but they don't do nothing about it. We as believers need to help each other. We need to share. We need to share all these things, I believe, and help as much as we can. Because if you say you help, you love, you're with your brother, then you should help your brother and your sister, right? So until next time, Yahweh bless you. Have a great and wonderful evening. Share this again, please. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you tried it and what it tastes like. Please like and subscribe and share the wealth. Till next time, shalom. Yahweh bless you. Shalom, shalom.